It's been almost 6 years since the deadliest school shooting in our country at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. And on April 16, 2007, that was the day Jerry and Michael Bishop lost their son Christopher, whom they lovingly called Jamie.
We miss him. Our whole family misses him.
Jamie was teaching German at Virginia Tech, and the Bishops believe he was the first person shot in the massacre. Since then, several other deadly shootings have rocked the country.
I just think every day about all the others at Virginia Tech and Columbine and Sandy Hook and Aurora, and it just breaks your heart. I just know that we didn't sleep for weeks, for probably 6 months. We couldn't sleep well. So I know that they're experiencing some of the same things.
Jerry and Michael tell me about a Sandy Hook victim's mother who wants gun laws in the U.S. to change.
And when he was buried, his mother insisted that he be buried in an open casket because she wanted people to see what these guns could do. And so when I think about a person telling me how much fun they're having with a gun, I think about what happened to these children. That's what I think about.
And the Bishops have been fighting for gun regulation.
We had hoped that after the shootings in Blacksburg, which was the largest, the biggest, the most dreadful mass shooting in the history of this country, school shooting, that something would be done. We had high hopes that after that particular event, something would be done in the way of regulating these kind of weapons.
They haven't spoken to any media since the mass shooting happened when Robin Roberts came to Pine Mountain to interview them. But now they're speaking, telling me about Jamie and their fight to stop violence in this country. The Bishops believe access to semi-automatic weapons and high-cap magazines took away their son.
Was able to kill a great many people because he had semi-automatic pistols and magazines that held a lot of bullets.
This is a hot debate because gun advocates believe just the opposite. I've talked to many advocates who say people kill people, not guns, and stand by the Second Amendment, like Congressman Lynn Westmoreland. The Bishops have reached out to him asking for gun regulation. He sent this letter stating our country doesn't need more gun laws, but to better enforce the laws we have. I talked to him myself about his viewpoint.
Is somebody that wants to buy a gun is going to buy a gun. We need to do more with our law enforcement of the laws that's already on the book rather than try to do something as a backdoor to confiscate our weapons.
The Bishops would also like universal background checks to stop gun show sales that don't require registration. Representative Carolyn Hugley is a gun owner but agrees with this concept.
The biggest loophole is at gun shows. They don't do that. And of course, what's the difference in buying a gun from a gun show and going to a gun dealer and buying a gun?
But Westmoreland says that is not the case.
Look, if I take a gun to a gun show to sell it, then I'm going to sell it to a dealer. Evidently, that dealer already has a license to sell federal firearms. So, I mean, that would be almost, stupid for me to require to have a background check on him.
Westmoreland says he feels for the Bishops, but he believes in the Second Amendment. He does want the violence to end, though, and he says one way is to get help for people with mental disabilities. The Bishops and Westmoreland can agree on that. Jerry and Michael have no anger toward the man who killed their son because he was mentally unstable.
I wouldn't say anything in particular to the shooter except that I'm sorry that life led him to that particular moment when he destroyed countless lives, not just the people that he shot in Norris Hall on the campus of Virginia Tech, but all of the people who cared about those people.
And they try and heal by honoring Jamie with tributes and memories.
I'll never forget a letter that we got from some neighbors after he died, saying that they saw him raking leaves in his front yard. And it was just a huge pile of leaves, and their children went over there and started jumping in them. They said, no, don't do that. And Jamie says, oh, let him do it. And then he started doing it with them.
2 days after playing in the leaves with children and being so full of life, Jamie was gone. But the intelligent, well-traveled man leaves behind books he illustrated and stories he has written. While gun advocates have the right to bear arms, the bishops hope that our country's leaders will take action and make changes, and they hope no one else has to feel their pain.
I hope that you never have a Sandy Hook or Virginia Tech or a Columbine happen to your child or to your grandchildren. I would never wish that on you, and you're the person who has, the power to change some of these things to make it better.
Chandi Lowry, WTVM News Leader 9.